Yes, indeed. And good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name, Sheldon Scott, here with you until the 12 o'clock hour. Yes, indeed. Yes, starting off with some sweet, sweet steel pan. Yeah, you understand? Steel pan is not just for carnival time. It's for all time, you understand? That's why we're playing it Christmas. We're playing it Independence. We're playing it before and after. We're playing it right through. All right? Yes, indeed. Uh-huh. As I said, this is Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott. We're live on 97.5 CitysoundFM, 89.5 CRFM, 92.9 Sister Isle FM, also live up there in Brooklyn via 94.9 WeiVybz Radio. Saying a very special good morning to all of you locally, regionally, and internationally listening to Hard Talk this morning. To those of you on the live, remember to like and share. And so good morning to you, Dexter, Kester, Felish. Yeah, I'm seeing Betty and Louisa. Good friends and staff out there at Paddy's Enterprises in Carriacou. Good morning to you. To Mammy Jane, Sherman, and the others up there, Maxan. Yeah, all of you up there in Pity Martinique, we hope that you're having a fabulous morning this morning. It's a beautiful morning on the Isle of Spice. Devon will not be with us this morning. Yeah, you see the hand yesterday, so you know what's going on. So various activities coming up. On Monday, it's cricket, lovely cricket, going to be taking place at the Grenada National Stadium, Cricket Stadium. We'll also have the ceremony on Monday for the naming of the Devon Smith stand. That'll be taking place on Monday. Also remember, on Tuesday there will be a Taste of Spice. That'll be taking place on the Carriacou from around 6. Well, a little earlier than that, because there'll be different displays and so on. People with different arts and crafts will be there from earlier on. It also means that traffic will be redirected from the Carriacou on Tuesday evening. So those of you that have reason to need to pass down there, know that you will have to do it via pedestrian means. Yeah. You won't be able to pass with your vehicle. So the Carriacou itself will be closed to pedestrian traffic on Tuesday evening. So you have to use your alternative means into St. George. On Wednesday, more cricket again. And after we saw that batting display by Chris Gayle yesterday, even though the outcome of the entire match was unfortunate, but I think the batsmen did their job. Well, at least as batsmen. When it came to being fielders, that's another story. So we look forward to seeing Chris Gayle attempt to be the first person to take a ball out of the Grenada Cricket Stadium and put it in the Karani James Athletic and Football Stadium. Yeah, let me see if Chris Gayle could do that one. Take a ball out of the Grenada Cricket Stadium and rest it right in the Athletic Stadium, yeah. I have some friends in Dabo that say they're reinforcing the windows. They ain't taking chance. Others say they're making sure and park up far. The Grenada Cricket Association, they've sent out notice to say that there are no more in the 60 and over tickets, yeah? They had a first set that was finished in no time flat. They asked for a second group. They got it. They cannot get a third set. So it's unfortunate that everyone cannot get that free ticket if you're 60 and over. But first come, first serve. So for the time you hear them kind of thing, you have to move on it one time. Yeah, you can't stick and say, well, I'll go tomorrow. Tomorrow mightn't have any. So that particular promotion is done. It's done with. So if you have to go now, you can buy a ticket. Remember, once you present Grenadian identification, the tickets are 50% off. All right. So once you can present your Grenadian some form of identification, a passport, a driver's license, a NIS card, a voter's registration card, and so once you can present some form of valid Grenadian identification to prove that you are a Grenadian citizen, you get the tickets at half price. All right? Yeah, that's a thing just for us. Nice? Beautiful. Yes, indeed. Also, if you buy an adult ticket and you want to bring a child in, children under 12, if you buy the adult ticket, you get the child for free, yeah? Under the age of 12. Now, they've also made blocks of tickets available for school-age children and so on. A special good morning to you, Miss Clytie. I hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning. Mrs. Maureen Macfield, good morning to you. Mr. Hudson Macfield, also good morning to you. Richard and Paula, good morning to you as well. Folks, remember Kayak Mass is coming up. Even if you just go up for the Tuesday, take the opportunity to see the Shakespeare Mass. There's the Monday morning Juve. Monday evening, Monday night Mass. Well, Monday night Mass. You have the various fete activities and so on taking place on the Saturday. Saturday is going to be ram-cram filled with activities. So there'll always be something for you to do in Carriacou next weekend. Starting next week Thursday, going right back, eh? From Queen Show to Soca Monarch to Calypso Monarch to the individual events by private organizers, the Steel Pan and Song activity as well. You see a special good morning to the Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart. Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. He make a year yet, no girl. Seriously, you know? You realize that? Yeah, March 13th you would be there. Yeah, officially a year. But you're not there a year yet. And you have taken the ground running, eh? We're going to invite the Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart to come in studio. Not next week. We know she has a lot of activities in Carriacou and Petit Martinique then. And the week after, she'll be recuperating. Well, the week after will actually be the Monday and Tuesday would be kayak mass. And then she'll need some time to recuperate, eh? Yeah, so we will give her this week and next week off. But definitely, during the month of March, we're extending the invitation that she would be here on Hard Talk. To tell us a bit live, eh? We ain't taking no phone call. Yeah, come live in studio, yeah. We also say a special good morning to all of you out there at the General Hospital, the staff out there at the General Hospital. My good friends, good morning to each and every one of you. To all the nurses, doctors, other healthcare professionals, those of you in the X-ray department, ultrasound, emergency department, to confirm, Philish, what time Felsis, yeah? Felsis? Yeah. I have to confirm what time the cricket does start. I think it's usually around 9, huh? What I know for a fact is I'm going to miss the first part of each day because I'll be in studio here. I don't think we'll stop Hard Talk on those days. We'll continue with the Hard Talk, yeah? We won't be able to broadcast the cricket. Maybe I can ask for the 2 days off, eh? Get myself, Nazim and Devon over to the stadium. Depot, the face does only suffice if it's a man like you. Yeah, so a man like you go without ID and watch. Hey, say that Depot man. Yeah, Depot is a great. Wait, I mean Depot is not great. Depot is a Grenadian game. But they're moving with the ICC rules, so therefore they need identification. Good morning to you, Miss Cammy, down there on the bus terminal. And all of the bus drivers. Ram, good morning, bro. Bala, good morning. I haven't seen Bala for a while. Cammy, where Bala? I ain't seen Bala for a while. Bala, good morning. Rex. Partner Rex, man. Old dog, morning, eh? Crystal. Tyrrell, morning. Grapes, good morning to you too, Mr. Steele. All of you down there on the bus terminal. I hope you're having a fabulous morning this morning. Biggie, good morning. interesting things that I've seen. I've seen that in the United States there is now a factory making steel pan. Yeah, they're making steel pan at a factory in the United States. And they're charging as much as 5,000 US for some of the steel pans that they are making. 5,000 US, huh? No, and it's not a Trinidadian or West Indian that's doing it. It's a born and bred American. He's even making, because there's a high demand for it right now, he's making a children's steel pan. There's a small one that he's making specifically for children, and they're painting it in these bright colors like pink and blue and so on. They're painting them in these bright colors, well tuned, because there are loads of children in the United States now interested in the steel pans. So they're creating steel pans specifically to those children, yeah? Meanwhile, Trinidadian worrying about Mr. Killer coming down and mash up the thing and come and take over the thing. Study them American and them charging 5,000 US for a steel pan over there with their own factory. We know the International Soca Monarch is coming up. Hey, Raphael, yes, Honorable Moses is on island. In fact, I got a message from her just yesterday in relation to the cleanup of the beach there in Sates. You know where there's that reclaimed portion of land in Lowtown? Yeah. So the sargassum seaweed, it is back, folks. For those of you outside of the island, you may not know. But again, that problem has started to come back with the seaweed. Yeah? And it is affecting that beach. I can't remember the name they call the beach now. But the reclaimed area there in St. Patrick where there's that beach. The seaweed has been affecting it. And the Honorable Moses got a team of individuals together and they cleaned it. Yeah? They cleaned it. Yes, Depot, that guy is based in Ohio. He's making the pan stands, the sticks, and special drums, everything. 5,000 US. Thinking of going into business myself. You ship to the United States. Where you find Depot? We close enough to Trinidad. We could get people to come up and tune and train people to tune and thing and sell too. The versatility of the steel pan is what is selling it in this way. That's why they can do that sort of thing right now and turn a profit. So yes, speaking about the Honorable Moses, and she has done that project there. Then remember, there's also that multi-million-dollar project, road project that's going to be taking place in St. Patrick. That would encompass both St. Patrick East and St. Patrick West. And it's going to virtually redo some of the major road networks in St. Patrick. In fact, that one is coming up sooner than many people think, huh? Additionally, and my good friend in St. Patrick, I know he's listening. Baba, I know you're listening. Yeah, that project in Lavera, it is continuing. You don't hear much about it because the folks have been working quietly. And you don't hear much about it because, honestly, people like myself have failed you. We need to continue informing you. Yeah, I'm one person that if I've failed to do something, I don't hide it. I've failed to inform you of what is taking place with the Lavera project. But I assure you that I will get more and more information on it and let you know, because some people may think, oh, they was talking about project in Lavera, all of a sudden they gone quiet on it. Why didn't say nothing about the Lavera project? No, the Lavera project is continuing. Yeah? It is continuing. So we'll give you some more information as we get it. We will give you some more information in relation to that project, what is taking place out there in Lavera. We'll give you some more information in relation to it. It's a wonderful one. I saw some photos of it quite recently, yeah? Sometime within last month, yeah. Hannah, Mr. Romaine is out today. Don't worry, we've spoken for the morning. folks, I continue to call on you to assist the Antoine family. They're still searching. They started to conduct searches. They live at Coral Cove in Lansepine. And Mr. Alfonso Scroty Antoine, he has been missing for going on 2 days now. He is a bit disoriented. You know, when you get down in age, what takes place? So he's a bit disoriented and has left home and not returned. The family is in search of him. So any of you that can lend assistance, they have a search party that will be going out a bit later. So they do have search parties that have been going out. They've been searching the Lansepine into the Mount Hartman area, the area that he usually frequents. And so he left home wearing a gray shirt and khaki pants. So some of you maybe remember seeing an elderly man acting strangely, it's a little strange, and looking a bit disoriented or so in the Lansepine area when you're heading down there. You may have seen him head into the bush, you may have seen him walking, going to a house or wherever. Please get in contact with the family. I'll give you their numbers in a short while. I'll give you all their numbers. A special good morning to the members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. I know they are out doing their very best assisting with that search as well. Yeah, I know that they are out assisting with that search as well. So folks, remember, if you have any information, you can call 419-1356. That's 419-1356. That's one of the numbers you can call. All right, nice, please. Also, if you can assist with the search, if you would like to assist with the search, give that number a call as well. That is 419-1356. That's if you can assist with the search. The more people you have out looking, the more eyes out there searching and so on, yeah, it would be much, much better. So any one of you that can assist in any which way, please give a call, 419-1356. Yeah, and that's for the search of Mr. Scroty Antoine. He left home. That would be on today's Thursday. He'd have left home on Tuesday morning and has not returned since. He is a bit confused, and so it's important to get together and find him as soon as possible. It's now 1 minute to 11 o'clock. Remember International Soca Monarch next week, huh? Yeah, we can't forget our boys. I remember it's 5 people we have down there, not 1. And the good thing is that Grenada has 5 people and every one of them has a fighting chance of taking the championship in the department that they're in. Whether it's Mandela and Vaughn in the groovy, don't just mention them in passing like if they're just there for being their sake. Whether it's Mandela and Vaughn the groovy, or whether it's Mr. Legs, Little Natty and Thunder. Because we've seen what they've done before here in Grenada. And it's getting to the stage where Grenada is becoming the standard for Soca Monarch and so on. Yeah, after all, Soca Monarch was started by River Road man, a Grenadian. Yeah, some of the Trinidadians speaking and so on, and they seem to forget. Mr. William Monroe is from River Road, and he went to Trinidad at the age of 16. Nice. Yeah, he's a River Road man that day. And Depot, I'm sure you know William Monroe. 2 of them maybe sit down in class together and all kind of thing. Yeah? All right, yeah. So remember, it's not just Mr. Killer. We have Mr. Killer who has flattened most of Trinidad. In fact, the government seemed to be happy because You know, they'll get a little job for people to go and fix back place after Killer mash it up. So, so Mr. Killer, Lil Natty and Thunder, as well as we have down there Mr. Legs in the Power Monarch, and then we have Vaughn. And so there's a viewing party that will be taking place in Bourget-Jou. That's going to be from 7 on next week Friday evening. Yeah, so from 7 next week Friday, we're heading to the Bourget-Jou playing field. Entrance is free. Yeah, it's the International Soca Monarch viewing party on the massive screen. We ain't say screen. We ain't say big. We ain't say large. We ain't say huge. We say the massive screen that's going to be up at the Bourget-Jou playing field. So I look forward to seeing you there. Huh? And they're going to have a massive sound system to back up the massive screen. So you're feeling just like you're there in Trinidad in the thing itself. Huh? Now I'm being corrected that it's 6 persons. Lil Natty and Thunder count as 2. They're one act. Oh. You know what? Interestingly, I was looking at a news item. And I saw our good friend, comrade Sister Rachel Roberts. I saw that she is up for re-election. She's been nominated and up for re-election as the head of the Public Workers Union. Yeah, Sister Rachel Roberts. She's going up against Brian Grimes. Yeah, Brian Grimes, the former public relation officer in the Public Workers Union, he's going up against comrade Sister Rachel Roberts. But it's interesting to hear what she had to say when she was interviewed by GBN. Yeah, it's really interesting to hear what she had to say when she was interviewed by GBN. Let's have a listen to what she said.
Along those lines, we understand that a large percentage of the public workers have been saying that they have been unsatisfied with your representation and that their presidency has been challenged by your public relations officer, Mr. Brian Grimes.
In leadership, there would always be times when there would be persons who are dissatisfied. There would always be persons who feel that they have to challenge. It is their democratic right. And I am never afraid of a challenge. And it is always good for the union when we have that kind of thing happening, that persons are challenging, because what you have is that workers become more interested, workers become more enthused, and I like to see that enthusiasm and that interest of workers. However, I would say to you that I know I have the experience and I have the knowledge. I am well trained in mutual gains negotiation. I am well trained in other areas of trade unionism, and I have the ability to do what it takes, and I am committed, and I have stick-to-itiveness, and I never give up a battle. I always struggle to the last until I can do more. And what I am doing it with honesty. I'm doing it with sincerity. I'm doing it for the interests of the workers, not for self. And I have suffered within my life, within the public service, because of what I do as a trade unionist. As you know, I have been on assignment for many years within the Ministry of Education, sitting on a desk doing nothing. I have been placed in the Ministry of Environment, doing nothing without any portfolio. And now I have been placed within the CAIPO department, where you could say I am there without not a portfolio. So, Eugenia, I gave up a lot in order to serve the workers of this country. And with that said, I believe that workers would be appreciative and would value the service that I gave and would be willing to know that they would vote me on come March 8th, 2019, that I would be returned to office, because I am honest, I am sincere, and I am ready to work for the members. I don't go on hearsay and I don't go on gossip.
Along those lines, we understand that...
Yeah, that's really interesting. To me, she said there that she was sitting in the Ministry of Education doing nothing. And she admitted to being on work doing absolutely nothing. I mean, is that acceptable? Is that acceptable? Because the moment that government decides, hey, we give you a task and you ain't doing anything, the moment government decides that they're going to give her something to do, and you have shifted her from one department to another department, this is the same Rachel Roberts that was on television again saying that she's being victimized because she was sent to work with Carriacou. That's the same individual. But here she is telling you basically that for years she's been sitting in her office doing nothing. Being paid by you, the Grenadian taxpayer, you know. But let government say that's how they're taking her to the Public Service Commission because she's not performing. All of a sudden it's political. The moment you decide that you're going to do something, that you're going to, okay, let's deal with this particular issue, she has not been doing anything, so either you bring her to the Public Service Commission or you do anything like that. The moment you decide you're going and do anything like that, that's the same person going and run on the same GBN and say that is political. But they're admitting she should be shamed. Because there are people in the public service right now, in the Ministry of Agriculture, that leaving home after 5 in the morning to go and get some farmers in their land by 6 after 6 in the morning. By 7, they want to be there when the farmer in the land to see some of the things that the farmer going through. People in the Ministry of Agriculture. People in the Ministry of Agriculture working for the whole day into the night. What about people in culture? People watch the people in the Ministry of Culture and the Department of Culture and feel it's just so? No. If you're one of the people that's be on the road regularly late in the night, you see the people from the Department of Culture, especially when there are activities like around Carnival time, especially around Independence time and so, sometime 10, 11, 12 in the night, you see people like Tiger and them now trying to reach home in St. Patrick from whatever activity it was that they had to participate in. You see these people working hard. The Ministry of Education, other ministries, the Ministry of Tourism and so on. You have people that making sure that they get there for 8. Not everybody. There are always the bad seeds in between. But you have people that make sure in the morning time that they get there, not just for 8, you know, they get there like 7:15, 7:30 sometimes. They get to the office. And when 4 o'clock, sometimes they believe, I haven't completed a task that I want to complete today. It's important that this proposal goes to this international body or this regional body, or that this proposal goes to cabinet for this program or that project. And these individuals are there and they're trying their very best. They're working hard. Yet the person who says that they're representing them, the one that called them out to strike, the last time I'd say come out and strike, the one who is there in charge of a union that is collecting $800,000 of workers' money on a yearly basis. Yes, $800,000 worth of workers' money. That's what they collected, $800,000 worth of workers' money on a yearly basis. That person telling you and telling the other workers, while they're working hard, she sit down at her desk doing nothing. Not me say, no. Not me say, she that say. So don't go and say Sheldon say.
As a trade unionist. As you know, I have been on assignment for many years within the Ministry of Education, sitting on a desk doing nothing. I have been placed in the Ministry of Environment, doing nothing without any portfolio. And now I have been placed within the Carriacou department, where you could say I am there without not a portfolio. So Eugenia, I gave up a lot in order to serve the workers of this country. And with that said, I believe that workers would be appreciative and would value the service that I gave and would be willing to know that they would vote me on come March 8th, 2019. that I would be returned to office, because I am honest, I am sincere, and I am ready to work for the members. I don't go on hearsay, and I don't go on gossip.
Yeah, so don't blame me. It's not me say. It's she say. Don't say Sheldon say. No. Don't go out there and say Sheldon say. So the people and them who work in births and deaths. But Mr. Grimes, you can't absolve yourself for the whole thing, because you was on the executive. You was one of the people on them day when all of this kind of thing taking place. Because me ain't supporting no side, I ain't taking part. Public workers will decide who public workers have as their leader. I ain't no public worker. Public workers will decide on their own who they take as their leader. But I find that statement needed airing. You have admitted that for years. You're working within the public service. You're working within the public service, and that you was doing nothing. But yet still you're saying that you're victimized. For years, doing nothing. And then when government recently decided that they're going to transfer you, you're the one that started to scream victimization. So don't get nothing to do. Leave you. That's the sort of thing. My goodness, huh? Watch, let me take a little piece of steel pan again. Yeah, admitting to years your day ain't doing anything. But that's not just as the that's not just as working in government, that's as a union leader too. We have a call online. Good morning.
Yes, Sheldon. Good morning to you. Good morning to Grenada.
Morning.
No, the thing is, I didn't really want to bring up that topic, but no one to bring it up. I would like to know, please, who is the person that trained Mrs. Roberts, because she said that she is well trained. She is well trained, so I would like to know who is the person that trained her. Now, how you could be sitting in the ministry doing nothing, and you're so brave to say to us as a nation that you have been there doing nothing. That's an indictment on the lady, Mrs. Roberts. I totally agree with you. She should be ashamed of saying that. I mean, maybe she thought she was putting a chip on her shoulder, but she would have embarrassed herself big time.
Playing the victim.
And I don't think
the victim. What she's been doing is playing the victim.
But another thing is, I look at the GBN interview and I saw the expression on her face. I don't know what point she was trying to prove, but that point isn't sharpening enough. I mean, she can get a sharpener and try and sharpen that point. Because that point she tried to make it isn't sharpening enough. And her expression was totally embarrassing too. So I don't know who trained her, but that person who trained her did a horrible job. If she was well trained, that training she got was a horrible training. And she would have needed somebody better to teach her better. I don't know how she could be playing the victim at this 99th hour, but I mean, I'm sorry for her. I'm really sorry for her. And I really think, in truth, that she should be brought before the commission, because she was there doing nothing, being paid to work, and she was not working because she was doing nothing according to her own admission.
But that is the person. But my brother,
public record. Go ahead.
That's the person that when they were being transferred now from a position that they have just said to you and me and the entire country that they are doing nothing. Government just decided that they're transferring them from that position into our next position. And that's the person that started screaming victimization when that taking place, That is the person that's screaming victimization when that is taking place.
So she preferred to do nothing.
Well, it seems so.
And stay doing nothing and get paid for doing nothing.
Well, it seems so, brother. Because that's the person I'm gonna play the next interview for you in a while where she says she's being victimized.
Okay, all right.
So she admitting that where she is right now, she says she ain't doing nothing. So government say, okay, we believe you have talents and capability, and we are going to shift you from one location to the other. And she's the person that jump up and say she's being victimized. I'm going to play it for you in a little while.
All right. And it's amazing how hypocritical we can be as a people. Like in this case, you know, you were doing nothing, just sitting, collecting a salary at the end of the month, and then you because you've been moved from one position to another position, you're being victimized. But I'm going to listen to the rest on air.
Yes, my brother. I just collecting some information on the cricket here that we have coming up on the weekend as well. Hello? Hey, like my partner gone, man. Like he run out of me there. I'm just collecting some information on the cricket. So folks, just give me 2 minutes there. But there's the same person screaming victimization. I want to know what's going on. I'm trying to understand that. My goodness. Because listen, that is the same Rachel Roberts that we were hearing saying this. Just let me see what date this was, boy. This is just about 3 weeks ago. Let's hear what she had to say when she was being shifted in her position to do some work. This is what she had to say. Let me hear what she had to say then.
According to Rachel Roberts, as of Wednesday, 30th January, she has been transferred from her role as a senior administrative officer in the Ministry of Education to the Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property Rights Office.
I have been transferred to the Corporate Affairs Intellectual Property Office as of today, Wednesday, the 31st of December. And whether or not my job description, my letter of appointment, in the public service would say that I'm liable to be transferred at any time within the public service, it still appears that because of my position, because of the fact that I hold an office in the trade union movement, that it appears to be some form of victimization.
She believes it is also related to the recent move of the permanent secretary in whose office she was placed.
The SAO at the Ministry of Education, with all the duties and responsibilities of an SAO. I served under PS Finley Jeffrey, and it appears to me that because I served under PS Jeffrey, who was recently moved, that I also has to be moved.
In a recent Beyond the Headlines program, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, in addressing the proposed movement of 11 permanent secretaries, says any public officer can be moved at any time.
The government of the day has the responsibility to manage a public service. It moves, recommendations are made continuously to move PSs and different public servants from one ministry to the next. Almost every permanent secretary or public servants in various sections of the public service have been moved at some time in the period of service. So a movement from one position to the other, as long as you are not demoted, it's a normal thing.
The PW head says the public service rule prevents her from taking any action.
Job description says, letter of appointment says, that you are liable to transfer at any time. It is always very challenging and difficult to be able to pinpoint the issue of interference when an officer is moved. victimization when an officer is moved, but we recognize it as professional hurt, because as an officer, it becomes very challenging, it becomes very frustrating. But for me, I stand firm, I stand steadfast, and would uphold the rules and regulations of the public service and the rules of my constitution.
Eugenia Peters, GBN News.
But folks, that's not the same person that that's just not the same person that just tell you that was in the Ministry of Education doing nothing. That's the same person, no? They seem to forget that just 3 weeks ago, they was complaining that they were placed in the office of the PS and so on, government victimizing them by removing them and putting them in CAIPO, the Intellectual Property Office. But now they're coming to you, the Grenadian people, and tell you that, hey, all the time they was sit down in the Ministry of Education, they was at a desk doing nothing. It's not Sheldon Scott say so. It's not HARDTALK say so. Is Rachel Roberts herself tell you that? You know, I want to ask her a question. I want to ask her, because I think I know the answer already, and the answer is in the positive. If she had ever applied to government to work full-time with the union, you know, similar to what LL has with the teachers union, but LL thing now is he's paid by the teachers union, and so I'm not sure if government still pays him as well, but I believe he's paid by the teachers union. But in her instance, that she wanted to be able to work full-time at the Public Workers Union office and still receive her salary. So in other words, her appointment would have been, she would have been working full-time at PWU headquarters, similar to what LL has there, but in her case, she'd have been paid by the government of Grenada. Sister Rachel, comrade sister, did you apply to government for that? I could very well just say, yes, you did, you know. But I would like you to answer the question too. And my media friends, and folks, I like to give credit where credit is due. We played those audio from GBN, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Yeah, me want nobody go and say I infringe the copyright and I take the thing and I play it and I didn't say GBN, right? Because that is where she went and do she interview. But how could you want full salary from government? Yeah? And then government now tells you, after she apply now, she wants a full salary from government. So whether her salary is 4,000 or 5,000 or 6,000, whatever her salary is, what she wants is for government to pay her that, but that she doesn't perform any governmental duties. Nothing for the people of Grenada as a civil servant, but just for the Public Workers Union. So you'd be Public Workers Union president, you sit in the Public Workers Union office, you get your full salary from the government of Grenada, and you're just working at the public service. You don't have to report to no ministry, no minister, nothing for the full period of time that you're the president of the Public Workers Union. But you know what? Government being government, still tell her, watch, we will give you half. We ain't going to pay the full thing if you're doing Public Workers Union work. We ain't going to get the full thing. Here what? We won't give you half. So if she was working for 6 grand, she will get 3. If she working for 7, she will get 3.5. Government say, listener, we will give her half. And you refuse it. So the union that gain $800,000 a year from civil servants could not pay the difference. In my view, I feel government should offer anything. It shouldn't pay anything. Because as far as I know, the teachers union does handle their president. Because you have admitted to us, the Grenadian people, lady, when you're talking these things, remember, it's my tax money you're talking about every month before my salary reach to me. My income tax go to the government, and I ain't vexed about it. I'm proud to be able to contribute to my national development through my taxes. I'm proud to do that. I have no problem doing that. Because when I hear the level of taxes in places like the US and even some other Caribbean islands, believe me, what we complain and quarrel about here as taxes, joke compared to the level of taxation in some other countries. But with my taxes that I pay in, you still come in and say to me, this.
service because of what I do as a trade unionist. As you know, I have been on assignment for many years within the Ministry of Education, sitting on a desk doing nothing. I have been placed.
But as the same person that when government said they're moving you from the desk in the Ministry of Education, you come and say, you was the one that say government victimizing you. You was the one that saying that government victimizing you. Those are not my words, eh? Because if you want to speak about integrity, I want to speak about keeping the rules of the public service, and so on. I mean,
because of what I do as a trade unionist. As you know, I have been on assignment for many years within the Ministry of Education, sitting on a desk doing nothing. I have been placed in the Ministry of Environment, doing nothing without any portfolio. And now I have been placed within the CAIPO department, where you could say I am there without not a portfolio. So, Eugenia,
Again, this is the same person that we heard in the in the clip I played before that was speaking about being victimized, not me.
According to Rachel Roberts, as of Wednesday, 30th January, she has been transferred from her role as a senior administrative officer in the Ministry of Education to the Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property Rights Office.
I have been transferred to the Corporate Affairs Intellectual Property Office as of today, Wednesday, the 31st of December. And whether or not my job description, my letter of appointment, in the public service would say that I'm liable to be transferred at any time within the public service, it still appears that because of my position, because of the fact that I hold an office in the trade union movement, that it appears to be some form of victimization.
She believes it is also related to the recent...
So it was victimization when you asked government to pay you your full salary and put you to do your union work only? Was it victimization when government told you that they're willing to pay you half of what your salary is? So in other words, the government would still be paying you, making a contribution to your salary on a monthly basis, and then the union that's earning $800,000 a year would have made the difference up. And you refused it. In other words, government had to find the money and pay you your full salary for you to go and do union work. No, I'm saying this because I think, and again, I'm not supporting either side. I'm not supporting any side. That's not my business. But it's important for everybody to know this. Because we pay taxes, you know. Children who buy in Sweetie, they pay taxes because when they shop buy the thing, they pay VAT on the big thing as Sweetie they buy. So when the children buy, indirectly they pay in taxes and thing too. And you telling them that their tax money going to waste when it comes to you. That's what you're basically saying. Well, government is working hard now to resolve the issues, such as the pension. No, not even the pension issue, because as far as government is concerned, that issue is resolved. And we know that right now, they are working towards organizing so that pension payments can start. Because the unions, your union, yes, you, Comrade Sister Rachel Roberts, your union, and the other public sector service unions have agreed on the formula for pensions to public workers. So I don't think there's any reason that government will not move forward, and they've announced that they will move forward towards starting the process of applying those pensions to those people who are now pensionable at the rate that was agreed with the public sector unions. Then when government said they're doing that, you are one of the people that jump up and say there's no agreement, blah, blah, blah. But there's a signed agreement. Well, a memorandum of understanding. And so the government moving forward on that, but like you didn't even want that to take place. And let's stick on the gratuity issue. Gratuity is gratuity, pension is pension. Two different things. But then, you are the person that tell them, public workers and them, don't go to work. We're striking. When the Minister of Education came on the 6th of November and she said clearly to teachers and so on this is the situation, government, the proper procedure has not been followed. If the proper procedure is followed, when a strike is taking place, no one can see the government taking the action that it had to take. But if the proper procedure is not followed, then government has to do what government has to do to protect us, the taxpayers. And even you, because you're a taxpayer too. So government helping to protect you from you. But you're the one that come and say that you ain't doing nothing. I do accuse you of that. You accuse you of that. You're the one that come and say that. And for those just joining that want to hear.
For many years within the Ministry of Education, sitting on a desk doing nothing. I have been placed in the Ministry of Environment doing nothing without any portfolio. And now I have been placed within the CAIPO department where you could say I am there without not a portfolio. So Eugenia, I gave up a lot in order to serve the workers of this country.
But if you was doing nothing, where you give up? Where you give up? If you was doing nothing, you give up a lot. Okay, tell us where you give up. Where you give up? If you was doing nothing, what did you give up? Because you have people, when they have to do their financial reports, they leave in the ministerial complex 7 and 8 in the night, some of them going up until 11 and 12. You have people in like the Ministry of Youth or the Ministry of Sports when they're putting together a program. Or like, the Ministry of Sports is involved in the national school sports that are coming up. And you have the zonals and then you have the national in April. The zonal are coming up pretty soon in March. I'll give you the dates shortly. So you have the national school sports coming up. You have the cricket coming up and people from the Ministry of Sports are involved in that. And you have people from the Ministry of Sports who, even if they're not at the ministerial complex until 10 and 11 in the night, they're over at the cricket stadium or they're over at the athletic stadium when it's one of those activities, up until late in the night, making sure everything is in place. You have to get the staff bus to go and drop them home in the night, and then they're coming back early the next morning, and whole day they're working hard. Sometimes they forget they had to take lunch. And while they are going through all this, paying their union dues on a monthly basis, here are you, the union president, say that you just sit down and just doing nothing. Here are you admitting that you just sit down on a desk doing nothing. The $800,000 is going to the union. Maybe that's why you don't want the union to pay you. Maybe that's why you don't want the union to pay you. But the $800,000 that the workers are paying to the union every year. And you're saying that while they're struggling, while they're fighting up and doing all this hard work, that you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. How you feel police officers who working night and day feeling when they hear that? Knowing that many of them paying taxes as well. They all paying taxes. How you feel the nurses feel when they hearing that? The same nurses you just go to play your thing in and get on and thing every now and again. How you feel they feeling right now? When them nurses and them working whole day, whole night. It are nurses sometimes because they inside so much, they ain't see outside. They get in before the sunrise and they're leaving after the sunset. They ain't get a chance to go outside for the day. They're just inside, working hard. And while they're doing that, you come in and instigate them. Or you must strike. In other words, you want them to join you in doing nothing. Maybe that's why she's so interested in strikes, she wants them to join her in doing nothing. Now me say, she say, so don't blame me. Folks, the phone number 440-7377. It's now 34 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock. 440-7377. And for those of you on the international line, 347-329-3101. Again, that's 347-329-3101. That's the same person that come in and say government victimizing her. Go play it again.
According to Rachel Roberts, as of Wednesday, 30th January, she has been transferred from her role as a senior administrative officer in the Ministry of Education to the Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property Rights Office.
I have been transferred to the Corporate Affairs Intellectual Property Office as of today, Wednesday, the 31st of December. And whether or not my job description, my letter of appointment, in the public service would say that I'm liable to be transferred at any time within the public service, it still appears that because of my position, because of the fact that I hold an office in the trade union movement, that it appears to be some form of victimization.
She believes it is also related to the recent move of the permanent secretary in whose office she was placed.
The SAO at the Ministry of Education, with all the duties and responsibilities of an SAO. I served under PS Finley Jeffrey, and it appears...
All you hear that, right? All you hear what she just said, as the SAO with all the duties and responsibilities of the SAO, but she didn't do anything? It's not me. Listen to her.
She believes it is also related to the recent move of the permanent secretary in whose office she was placed.
The SAO at the Ministry of Education, with all the duties and responsibilities of an SAO. I served under PS Finley Jeffrey.
But that's the person who saying that the SAO, no wonder all kind of stupidness does take place on that thing anyway.
Yes, within the Ministry of Education, sitting on a desk doing nothing. I have...
as SAO, okay, let me see up here. Nice. Let me hear what she had to say here. She served as
Ministry of Education, with all the duties and responsibilities of an SAO.
So all the duties and responsibilities of the SAO?
Trade unionist. As you know, I have been on assignment for many years within the Ministry of Education, sitting on a desk doing nothing. I have...
Watch, let me play some steel pan. 'Folks, the phone number 440-7377, and for those of you outside of Grenada, it's 347-329-3101. You can call and get in on today's program. If there was ever a case of foot and mouth, I ain't backing no horse. Public workers, when the time come, make your decision and choose who you find best represent you. Taking no part. But when you accuse the government of victimizing you one day and then you come back afterwards and say, because you gave the impression 3 weeks ago when you were speaking about being victimized, you gave the impression that you were removed from this very high office that you had so much doing and so much to do as the SAO to the PS and so in the Ministry of Education, and now all of a sudden conveniently it has become a case of you are sitting there doing absolutely nothing. But then when government says to you, and it's not even government, you know, let me get this thing straight, the Public Service Commission, let's get this thing straight, it's not the Prime Minister or the Minister or somebody pick up a pen and says we're going to move this person from here to there. That can't happen. It's the Public Service Commission, that independent body that makes a decision and says we're going to remove person A from here and place them there. It could be a secretary, it could be a security guard. Whoever holds a Public Service Commission appointment can be shifted from one position to another. It just has to be done laterally. In other words, if you are at grade C, you can be moved from one position, grade C in Ministry of Youth, to grade C in Ministry of Health. You cannot be pushed down to grade D or some lower grade. But once you are at a particular grade, you have to be shifted laterally. So if your salary is $5,000 a month, you cannot be placed in another position where the salary is $4,000 a month, unless it is disciplinary in nature from the Public Service Commission, not from the government, from the Public Service Commission. Because a lot of people get tied up with this thing, and when somebody's transferred, they try to blame the ruling party or the cabinet. It's not a cabinet decision. That is a Public Service Commission decision. That they are going to shift somebody who they find that person has qualifications or that person has the ability to perform a specific role in a department. When they're shifting around, it may be decided that person A is shifted from Ministry A to Ministry B. Yeah? And when you're playing cricket, you don't shift your fielders on the team. You shift them around the field, innit? According to who is the batsman that come in and who's the bowler that you have bowling, you may shift how you have your field placements. Because you want to make sure that you have the most efficient team at all times. So you were supposed to be working. We can't say you was working. You were supposed to be working somewhere. You say for the time that you're working there, you had nothing doing. You sit down at a desk, you wasn't doing anything. You were just there. You were shifted now by the Public Service Commission to a position where you get something to do. And you're complaining. But it's not we say. It's you say. You understand? Yeah, it's not we say. It's you say. Some of them comments are playing online, they can't repeat those. Oh gosh. So folks, remember the search continues for Mr. Crotty Antoine. You can call the following numbers if you have any information or you'd like to help in some way or format. You can call 425-2641. That's 425-2641, 419-1356, and 419-0400. You can call any of those numbers. I know Mr. Antoine is a very, very nice man. Yeah, I know Mr. Crotty Antoine, and he's a very, very nice man. Folks, if you can help with the search to go out and help look for him physically, or you can help in any which way that you see possible, give a call. 425-2641, 419-1356, and 419-0400. Call any of them and offer your assistance. All right? Nice. Beautiful. Nice. That's a nice one, right? Help, help, help. Please, help. Okay? Good. No, the police are doing their search as well, but more eyes always better. Comrade Sister Rachel Roberts. I think probably you need to review some of your thing before you go on air, girl. I know one place she said she was doing nothing. No, she said she was there. She was in environment or somewhere doing nothing too. Does he nothing doing, President? And then still applies to government. And I mean, it's just to understand that. You apply to government afterwards for your full governmental salary to carry out your trade union responsibilities. So you would not be going to a ministry on a daily basis. You'd be going to the Public Workers Union main office, getting your full salary from the government of Grenada. Government of Grenada says, wait, let's check this thing. Wait, $800,000 workers paying into this thing on a yearly basis. Yeah? In fact, some of us have paid into it as well. So $800,000. You're telling me out of the $800,000 that they can't find enough to pay 50%. So government says, okay, comrade sister, we'll give you 50% of your salary. In other words, the union will make up because you want to keep you at the same level, so the union will make up the other half. And she refused that. You refuse it. It's like the government had to pay. The government had to pay. The same attitude that they have right now in relation to the gratuity issue. The government had to pay. The government had to pay. What kind of madness is this? Yeah, I find that to be totally craziness. In fact, if I was the government, if I was part of the cabinet, I'd say straight up, I ain't even offering 50%. Use out of the $800,000 if that is what you want to do. Use out of the $800,000 you're getting on a yearly basis. Yeah, because over the last 2 years, there's over 1 point something million dollars. Over the last 8 years, there's 8 million going and so. And it's been a while now. And then you have so many people who've been now confirmed into the service and so. And then they look at salary rise and so on as a percentage of that. So you know that people been paying. And then remember, you're getting paid from not only the established, but the unestablished workers as well, paying into the PWU. So come on. You tell me after all of that, they couldn't even pay 50%? Lucky government offered 50%. I wasn't offering nothing. I wasn't getting nothing. Wasn't even offering. Yeah, the Minister of Finance too nice. I wasn't offering 50%. Yeah. All right, folks. Hey, remember this weekend, cricket, lovely cricket in the Docks Challenge Trophy competition. And in Zone 1 this weekend, Zone 1, we have St. George Northwest going up against St. George Northeast at the Grand Mall playing field. We have St. George South versus St. George Northeast at the Montrouge playing field. In Zone 2, we have St. Andrew Northeast versus St. Andrew Northwest at the Pearls playing field. And in Zone 3, we have St. Patrick East versus St. Patrick West at the River Sally playing field. And St. Mark versus Carriacou at the Hillsborough playing field up there in Carriacou. So let me give that again. St. George Northwest versus St. George Southeast at the Grand Mall playing field. St. George South versus St. George Northeast at the Montrouge playing field. St. Andrew Northeast versus St. Andrew Northwest at the Pearls playing field. St. Patrick East versus St. Patrick West at the River Sally playing field. And St. Mark versus Carriacou at the Hillsborough playing field. So those are the matches in the Docks Challenge Trophy. Reigning champions St. Andrew Southeast. Yeah, they defeated St. David on a Saturday gone. Yeah, and St. John, they defeated Carriacou. Nice. So we're looking forward to this weekend's encounter. So those of you that could head on out there, make a little pass now, go on and check out the thing now. Yeah, that will be taking place on Saturday evening. I'll get the exact times of the matches for you. It's not on the document I'm seeing here, the exact time. Miss Duncan, if you at the exact time, message me and let me know. Right? Yeah, so that we could get the people to come on out. St. David Malmont playing field. Man, believe me, St. David's people came out on Saturday to the Docks Challenge Trophy. They had a lot of people out there, man. A couple hundred as well. Yeah? Out at the Malmont playing field. And watch, it is lit. It is lighted. It has been lit. Yeah, man. So cricket in the day, cricket in the night. If you're playing football, football in the day, football in the night. Yeah, and high standard lighting and thing. And no moon on pole. Good lighting. All right? Yes. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Yeah, nice. Yeah, those are the numbers for you to call and get on to the inside of the program. I have a question for another sister. I have a question for Claudette Joseph. Yeah, comrade sister Claudette Joseph, we have a question for you too. Comrade sister Claudette Joseph. I'm hearing from various sources that there's an intention to kind of get you in the Senate instead, isn't it? See, sometimes when you stand up in the line in the supermarket and you stand up in the line in the bank, you just hear certain things, you know. Sometimes people say things because they want you to hear it and want you to go with it. Yeah, sometimes. And sometimes people don't really realize who is standing behind them in the line when they're talking. That is why I tend to be exceptionally careful where I keep my conversations and the type of conversations I keep when I am where I am. Because I mean, I'm trying to understand what the young Senator Karine has done to you all that some of you just don't like that young lady so much. But well, because she's from St. John, I'm telling you. Yeah, I don't care what party she in, she's from St. John and she's young. I'll always support young people. But I hear that you all want to basically dump the young lady and the young gentleman. I'm telling all you what I hear. Alright, okay. I hear that there's a move before the end of this year. I could give more specific timing. To approach Her Excellency the Governor General. To have the two young people removed from the Senate. Because some people consider them to be ineffective and they ain't working good and they ain't doing this and they ain't doing that. So there's a move to remove the two young people and to put Claudette and another individual. I'll keep quiet for now. Claudette, you know, over 60 years old, you should be somewhere around 62, innit? No, don't open my eye and watch me like that. Yeah, Claudette, she should be about 62. All we're talking about youth and all kind of thing is that set elder people that they send to run, you know. Well, they thought she younger than that. Yeah, she should be somewhere around that. And the birthday was last month. So you should be around 61, 62 years old, innit? I have no problem with your age because that is not a thing that ever bothers me, yeah? I know I'm way younger than you. I know we're near there, years before I reach pensionable age. But why would you want to take the young people out there and... Because I know you just be on a certain program on a Thursday, so I want somebody call and ask you, you understand? Nice. Or you can answer before we ask you, alright? Is there a move within the NDC to dump the two youth senators and place Claudette and... I'm going to keep the name quiet. To place Claudette and another individual in the Senate as part of their restructuring, yeah? And their regrouping. Inquiring minds would like to know. Because remember, that was what I was boasting about. The NDC is the one that send young people and all kind of thing and all kind of nonsense. Emlyn Pierre, Dwight Osford, Richard McField was a youth as well when he went inside there. Sheldon Scott, Devon Roche. The amount of young people that the NNP, people under the age of 35, that the new National Party has sent before into the Senate. Yeah? Even when you all had the opportunity, when you all were 11-4, you didn't send no set of young people into the Senate and them kind of thing. Yeah, now you're talking about young people. Because I heard, and this one is the greatest one, I realized that Mr. Greenwich has resurrected. Number one, Mr. Greenwich, I hear you on Sunday, you know, and don't lie for the people. You had nothing to do with the Youth Manifesto of 2013. Nothing. You did not have anything to do with the Youth Manifesto of the new National Party that was created in 2013. You lie. And you know, I could tell you you lie because I was the youth president at the point in time. So you lie. That is one. Secondly, to give the impression that the new National Party came in and removed youth programs that were there, that again is a lie. The only thing that the new National Party folded was that, what do they call it again? The GOP. The GOP program. And that was changed into the new Imani program. as was promised on the campaign trail during 2013, that when the new National Party won the election, that they would introduce the new Imani program, which is a better and far superior program than what existed under the NDC. In fact, if you go back to the tape and the footage, you could hear what some of the young people who were involved in that program had to say about the program, and it wasn't nice. So don't get the impression that the NDC was all about youth inclusion and all kind of thing. Oh, they had youth parliament and they bring all in youth parliament. Brother man, let's be real. Youth parliament was started by the new National Party administration. In fact, the same Devon Roche who was in Senate before, the present Minister of Education, the Honorable Emlyn Pear, and many others are products of that same youth parliament. And what we said on coming into office in 2013 was that we'll institutionalize the youth parliament instead of it just being something that just meet and you're discussing and you're gone. That you would have a system where young people can vote on a constituency basis for their individual representatives to go to a national youth parliament that can also review legislation, and also that bills can start there. They could make suggestions of bills that could go to the House of Representatives and to the Senate as well. So it wouldn't just be, oh, you have a youth parliament, so you just grab 15 young people or so. Well, not 15, more like 18 young people. You just grab them and you say, okay, we have a youth parliament, and you send them. But it would be a structured something. Not something that's just meant for tokenism, but something that had a serious effect and meaning. We had 26 youth programs that were destroyed by the NDC when they came in 2008. 26 youth programs. They changed over the youth ambassadors. They basically, the Grenada Youth Enterprise Initiative program, they basically destroyed that program. Then they tried to create another thing and push out 1 or 2 young people in quick. And all the young people that we had, that we were featuring in 2007 and 2008 under the Grenada Youth Enterprise Initiative, boom, business failed, disappear, all kind of things, simply because they got their loans under the new National Party. Who wasn't visiting them, who don't bother with them, all kind of thing. Boom, business just started to close down one after the other. You sent home 2,000 plus young people under the Imani program back in 2008. When the new National Party came in, we didn't send home the people under the youth program that existed by the NDC. We allowed them to complete their time and gave them the option to become part of the new Imani program. So when we gave our figures, we weren't given figures of who under the NDC program and who under the NNP program. So to give the impression that the NDC was more inclusive for youth and they had more youth program, absolute nonsense. It shows that you don't know what you're talking about. It shows you. So you're in the right place, you're in a group of people that don't know what they're talking about. You're in the right company. Because who hosting that program and who own that program don't know what they're talking about. You can't come and talk and tell me them kind of nonsense. I tell you straight, you're talking stupidness. Yeah? In Hindi, I tell you that you're talking gubar. My friends in Trinidad know what I'm talking about. That's nonsense. Yeah? But you never know. Maybe the move to dump certain people out of the Senate in the NDC is why you start to fence around again. Because if I was them in the NDC, I'm watching you funny because for the last year you disappear, you have nothing to say, you're hiding. And all of a sudden when that talk started to circulate, I tell you, if I used to cut my hair still and sit down in barber shop, I could have get live and direct, but sometimes it's just a shave at a stick. But sometimes you stand up in the supermarket line, or you stand up in the line in the bank, and it's amazing what she does here. I don't know what that young lady in St. John do some of all in NDC, especially some of all the elder women in NDC. I don't know what she do, all do like her so. Serious. That Karine James, that young lady from St. John that was sent by the NDC to sit in the Senate, I don't know what she do some of all you that all you hate her like that. And Louisa, no, is not 26. The woman is 62 years. Yeah, she's about 62 years old. That same Claudette, about that. Yeah, man. Well, they thought she young like me. Nah, man. Them around 62. Yeah, that's about the age they. Folks, watch. That's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. We'll be back tomorrow with more Hard Talk for you. Hey, we're starting from 10. No national report, no nothing tomorrow. We're starting from 10 o'clock on the dot tomorrow. All right? Deal? Yeah, Devon should be in with us tomorrow. Technical man, everybody should be in with us tomorrow. So we're starting exactly from 10. We ain't no national report, no this, no that, no the other. We're starting from 10. We'll play national report and then after we finish the program tomorrow, all right? Because we have a lot to talk about. Comrade Sister Rachel Roberts. So for years, you admit that you're there and doing work and for not doing any work and getting pay. My goodness. And you actually thought that was a good thing, eh? And that's the worrying thing, you know. She actually thought that was a good thing to go and say. My goodness gracious. Anyway, folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's wonderful being here with you. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Love each and every one of you. And for all of the radio stations, all of you online, all of you listening via the internet, YouTube, wherever, we'd like to thank you and wish that you have a wonderful day today.
Our feature is here today. Friday, April 5th. Kirani James Athletic Stadium. National Secondary School Games. Run, throw, jump. National Secondary School Games 2019. Your games, your future.
A taste of spice, welcoming our cricketers and fans to Pure Grenada, the Isle of Spice, showcasing our culture and heritage on Tuesday, 26th February on the Carriacou in St. George's. England versus the West Indies. Cricket Rest Day. Come enjoy a taste of spice. Performances from top soca and calypso artists, pan, drummers, dancers, a mini carnival parade, arts and craft, and local food. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Carriacou is the place to be. It's cricket, lovely cricket. Rest Day, Tuesday, 26th February. Sample a taste of spice. Hosted by the Grenada Cultural Foundation. No unauthorized vending allowed.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.